They thought you would struggle forever. They laughed at your hardships, whispered behind your back, and assumed you would always be behind. But they didn't know the truth. Your season of lack is over. From this moment forward, God has taken full responsibility for your wealth, and nothing can stop what is coming. The blessings you prayed for are already in motion. Keep watching, because this message will change everything. You are not just anybody. You are one of the chosen ones, and that means your story is not like the rest. The struggles you faced were never meant to destroy you. They were preparing you for supernatural wealth. From this point on, riches will flow effortlessly into your life, not because you are chasing them, but because God Himself has assigned them to you. The doors that were once closed are about to open. The people who doubted you are about to watch you rise. Today, I am revealing 5 undeniable signs that you have been chosen for divine wealth. These signs will confirm what you have already felt in your spirit, that your financial breakthrough is not just coming, it is already here. Comment 77 if you are ready to receive your divine inheritance. The first sign is, God has shifted you from struggle to supernatural provision. For years, you carried the weight of financial burdens like a heavy chain around your spirit. You worried about bills, you stressed over money, and no matter how hard you worked, it felt like you were always behind. You prayed, you sacrificed, you gave all you had, yet the breakthrough you longed for seemed just out of reach. The struggle became a constant companion, whispering doubts in your ear, convincing you that this was just how life was meant to be. But something changed. At first, it may have been subtle. Small shifts, unexpected moments where things seemed to flow more easily than before. You noticed that money was coming in ways you hadn't planned, that opportunities were appearing where there were none before. The resources you once had to fight for began to arrive with less resistance. What used to feel impossible suddenly seemed within reach. The weight that once felt unbearable was no longer crushing you. And that is when you realized God had taken over. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine order. There is a supernatural transition that happens when God shifts you from struggle to provision. It is not just about receiving more money or material wealth. It is about the way things begin to align effortlessly. The exhausting cycle of endless work and little reward is broken. Instead of chasing opportunities, they begin to seek you out. Instead of stressing about lack, you start moving in confidence, knowing that your needs are already met. It is a shift in the atmosphere, a transformation in the way blessings flow into your life. Philippians 4 verse 19 speaks directly to this. But my God shall supply all your need according to His riches in glory by Christ Jesus, not according to your job, not according to the economy, not according to what the world says is possible, but according to His riches which never run out. This is the shift from human effort to divine provision. This is the moment when wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something that follows you. And this is why they don't understand you anymore. They see you moving differently. They see that you are no longer panicked over money, no longer trapped in the same financial struggles that used to hold you back. They don't know how to explain why things seem to be falling into place for you, why your business is growing, why doors that were once locked are suddenly opening. But you know the truth. You have stepped into the divine covenant of provision. This is why some people who once stood beside you may start to distance themselves. Some may try to challenge your newfound confidence, questioning why you are no longer worried like you used to be. They expect you to still be struggling, to still be the person who had to work twice as hard just to survive. But you are not that person anymore. And whether they admit it or not, they see the difference. This transition is not always instant, and it is not always easy. There will still be moments where your faith is tested, where it looks like nothing is changing. But the chosen ones understand that faith is not about what you see. It is about what you know to be true. And what you know is that your wealth is already secured, not by your own striving, but by divine assignment. Deuteronomy 28 verse 12 reinforces this truth. The Lord shall open unto thee His good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. This is the difference between supernatural provision and ordinary wealth. Ordinary wealth comes and goes. It is built by man and it is vulnerable to man's systems. But supernatural provision is eternal. It is stored up, waiting for you to step into alignment. It does not dry up, it does not fail, and it does not depend on circumstances. The wealth assigned to you is not just for a moment. It is for a lifetime and beyond. And this is why you must embrace it fully. There is no need to hesitate. There is no need to question whether you deserve it. The chosen ones do not walk in lack because God has already determined that their inheritance is abundance. You were never meant to struggle forever. Your hard seasons were only preparation for the level you are stepping into now. Think back to the times when money showed up out of nowhere, when financial doors opened in ways you didn't expect, when something you once worried about was suddenly taken care of without your effort. That was not luck. That was proof. That was the evidence that God has already shifted you into divine supply. This is your moment of transition. The choice is now yours. Will you walk in this reality, or will you let doubt steal what has already been set in motion? Because there is no turning back. Once the shift happens, there is no going back to the old way of thinking, the old way of struggling, the old way of surviving. If you have felt this shift happening in your life, comment provision, because what happens next will determine everything. And if you are ready to understand why you no longer need to worry about money, keep watching. The next sign will reveal the final key to unlocking the wealth that is already yours. The second sign is you feel a deep inner confidence in God's provision. There was a time when money consumed your thoughts. You worried about bills, about making ends meet, about whether you would ever have enough to live the life you dreamed of. You watched others move freely, making choices without the weight of financial strain, while you calculated every expense, stretched every dollar, and prayed for relief. The burden of financial uncertainty was heavy, and for so long, it seemed like it would never let up. But something shifted. One day, you woke up and realized that the fear was gone. The anxiety that used to grip you had loosened its hold. You were no longer waking up in the middle of the night wondering how things would work out. You were no longer obsessing over every financial detail, trapped in an endless loop of stress. Instead, a deep, unshakable peace settled in your spirit. You could not explain it logically, but you felt it. You just knew everything was going to be taken care of. This was not denial. This was not false confidence. This was something different. It was the evidence that God had taken over. Most people never experience this kind of peace. They live in a constant state of fear, chasing money, worrying about the economy, believing that they must struggle in order to survive. They believe that provision is something they must fight for, something that is always slipping through their fingers. They have been conditioned to believe that wealth is reserved for a select few, and that security is something they will always have to chase. But you are different. You have come to understand something that most never will. God's provision is not temporary. It is eternal. It is not something that can be lost because it was never something you were meant to earn in the first place. It is something that was assigned to you, something that flows not because of your effort but because of divine alignment. Matthew 6 verse 26 speaks directly to this truth. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? If God provides for the birds, who do nothing to earn their provision, how much more will He provide for you, His chosen one? If nature itself is sustained without worry, why would you, a child of divine inheritance, ever need to doubt? This peace is one of the clearest signs that you are stepping into supernatural provision. Your spirit has aligned with abundance before your eyes even see it. You are no longer questioning if your needs will be met. You are walking in the confidence that they already are. And this is why some people don't understand you anymore. They look at your life and wonder why you are no longer stressed about money. They don't understand why you are not in a state of panic like they are. They see you moving differently, trusting differently, speaking differently. And because they do not have this peace themselves, they assume that you are being reckless, that you are in denial, that you don't understand how real life works. But what they don't realize is that you are no longer operating in the limitations of the world. You have stepped into a different realm, one where money is not something you chase but something that is drawn to you, where opportunities are not things you desperately seek but things that are placed in your path. where provision is not based on external circumstances but on an eternal promise. Isaiah 26 verse 3 confirms this reality. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Perfect peace is not just the absence of anxiety. It is the presence of absolute trust. It is moving through life knowing that no matter what the bank account says, no matter what the news reports, no matter what obstacles arise, you will never be without. This is why your financial struggles are over, not because you suddenly made more money, but because you have entered the frequency of wealth. The frequency of knowing that money is a tool, not a master. That success is a mindset before it is a reality. That when God has assigned provision to you, nothing can block it, nothing can delay it, nothing can take it away. Think back to your journey. There have been moments where provision showed up out of nowhere, when resources arrived just in time, when money that you weren't expecting found its way to you. Those moments were not random. They were confirmations. They were glimpses of the divine provision that has always been in motion for you. And now, the only thing left to do is embrace it fully. You do not need to explain yourself to those who don't understand. You do not need to prove to anyone why you are no longer afraid. You do not need to go back to the old way of thinking, to the old patterns of fear, just to make others comfortable. You were meant to walk in abundance effortlessly. The only question now is, will you continue to trust what you already know to be true? If you feel this peace deep in your spirit, if you know that God has already secured your financial future, comment confidence, because what comes next is even greater. The next sign is proof that wealth is already seeking you out. If you are ready to see what happens when supernatural favor begins to align with divine opportunity, keep watching. Everything is about to become even clearer. Everything you have experienced was leading you to this moment. You have already seen the shift happening. But the next signs? They are undeniable proof that your financial breakthrough is here. Make sure to activate all notifications right now so you don't miss what I am about to reveal next. This is knowledge that the wealthy understand, but they never wanted you to know. The third sign is, doors of unseen opportunity are opening for you. Something has shifted. You may not be able to fully explain it yet, but you can feel it. Things that once seemed impossible are now unfolding effortlessly. The opportunities you used to chase are now chasing you. Connections are appearing out of nowhere. Financial doors are opening in ways you never expected. This is not coincidence. This is not random luck. This is divine alignment. For years, you struggled, you knocked on doors that never opened, you pushed forward even when nothing seemed to move. You were told that hard work was the only way to success, that if you just did more, tried harder, or sacrificed more, eventually things would change. But deep down, you always knew there was something greater at work. You knew that true wealth, true opportunity, true success did not come just from effort. It came from alignment with God's timing and purpose. And now you are seeing the evidence. Doors that were once locked are now opening. Resources that were never available to you before are being handed to you. The very things you prayed for, things that once seemed out of reach, are suddenly appearing in front of you. This is what happens when God Himself orchestrates your prosperity. Isaiah 22 verse 22 speaks directly to this supernatural favor. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open, and none shall shut, and he shall shut, and none shall open. When God opens a door for you, no one can shut it. No person, no circumstance, no opposition can block what has been divinely assigned to you. And when God closes a door, it is because it was never meant for you. This is why you no longer have to beg for opportunities. The ones that are truly meant for you will align effortlessly. The wrong ones will fall away. And that is the real secret of divine wealth. It does not come through force. It comes through flow. Most people never understand this. They spend their lives trying to force their way into places they were never meant to be. They waste years knocking on doors that God has already closed. They exhaust themselves chasing things that were never aligned with their destiny. And when nothing works, they convince themselves that success is impossible. But you move differently. You understand that your wealth is not a product of relentless struggle. It is a product of divine positioning. You recognize that the doors that are opening for you now are not ones you forced open. but ones that were prepared for you long before you even knew they existed. Think back to the moments when an opportunity came out of nowhere, when you received unexpected financial blessings, when you met the right person at the perfect time, when something you thought was lost suddenly found its way back to you. Those were not accidents. They were confirmations. Confirmations that God has been aligning things for you all along. That your success is not a matter of if, but a matter of divine timing. This is why you cannot afford to hesitate. This is why you must remain ready, because when God opens a door, you must have the faith to walk through it. Some people will question how things are working out so easily for you. They will wonder why opportunities seem to appear in your favor while they continue to struggle. They will try to explain it away, to convince themselves that you are just lucky, that your success is just a series of random events. But they do not understand what has been set in motion. They do not understand that your steps are being divinely ordered. Psalm 37 verse 23 confirms this. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Every shift, every connection, every breakthrough. It is all unfolding exactly as it was meant to. And now, the only thing left to do is embrace it. You are standing before open doors. The opportunities you once dreamed of are waiting for you. The question is, will you step through? If you have already seen these signs in your life, if you have witnessed opportunities aligning in ways you never expected, comment, open doors, because the next sign is even more powerful. It is the undeniable proof that those who doubted you will soon have no choice but to witness your rise. And if you are ready for that moment, keep watching, because everything is about to shift even faster than you imagined. The fourth sign is, people who once mocked you will witness your blessings. They never thought you would make it. They watched you struggle, whispering among themselves, convinced that your hardships would never end. They mocked your faith, dismissed your dreams, and assumed that your setbacks were permanent. Some even found pleasure in your difficulties, using your challenges as a way to justify their own comfort. They thought you would always be beneath them, always fighting just to survive, always reaching but never grasping. But now, they are about to witness your rise. This is not just personal success. This is divine vindication. Your journey was never meant to be one of endless struggle. Every difficulty, every loss, every moment of pain was only setting the stage for what is about to unfold. The tables are turning, and those who once looked down on you will have no choice but to watch as you step into abundance. This is not about revenge. This is not about proving a point. This is about fulfillment. Psalm 23 verse 5 speaks directly to this moment. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. This is the promise. Your blessings will not be hidden. They will be displayed in the presence of those who doubted you. Not behind closed doors, not in secrecy, but openly, undeniably, unavoidably. You will not have to say a word. You will not have to remind them of what they said about you. You will not have to prove anything. Your abundance will speak for itself. The very people who dismissed you will be forced to acknowledge that you were chosen all along. And this is why some people are already uncomfortable around you. They sense the shift. They may not fully understand what is happening, but they can feel it. They see that you are no longer the same, that doors are opening for you, that blessings are coming effortlessly into your life. And deep down, they know they were wrong about you, but do not expect them to admit it. Some will pretend not to see your success. They will act as if nothing has changed, refusing to acknowledge the transformation happening in your life. Others will try to reconnect, suddenly remembering your name, suddenly wanting to be close to you again. And then there will be those who react with bitterness, resentful of your blessings, unable to handle the reality that you are now thriving. None of it matters, because this is bigger than them. Your elevation is not about proving anyone wrong. It is about walking fully into what was always yours. This is why you must remain focused. Do not waste time trying to explain yourself. Do not allow their reactions to distract you. Your calling is too great, and your assignment is too important. Isaiah 60 verse 14 confirms what is happening. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. The same people who look down on you will acknowledge what God is doing in your life. They will see the blessings, see the favor, see the prosperity that was always meant for you. But here is the key: you must not shrink yourself to make them comfortable. Some will try to pull you back into old patterns, hoping to keep you in a place where they felt superior. They will test you, trying to make you react, hoping you will return to the version of yourself they once knew. But you are no longer that person. You do not operate from a place of lack anymore. You do not seek approval from those who doubted you. You do not need validation from those who never believed in you. You are moving in a completely different realm now. And as you step fully into the season, something powerful happens. Your overflow begins. You are not just receiving enough for yourself. Your cup is running over. The blessings that are coming to you are not just for your survival, they are for your expansion. You will bless others. You will be a source of opportunity. You will be a demonstration of what happens when someone refuses to give up on their divine destiny. And this is why your success is not just about you. It is about all the lives that will be changed through your abundance. The people who mocked you were never your focus. The real mission is to walk in your calling, to create impact, to step fully into the wealth that has always been assigned to you. Because what is coming next? It is even greater than what you can imagine. If you know that your blessings will be undeniable, comment overflow, because the final sign is the most powerful confirmation yet. The ultimate proof that your wealth is not just about receiving, but about stepping into a divine mission far bigger than yourself. Keep watching, because everything is about to be revealed. Everything has been leading up to this. The signs are clear. The shift has already begun. But there is one final test, the last confirmation that your financial destiny is secured. And when you understand this, everything changes. The final sign is, you are called to use your wealth for a greater purpose. Many people think wealth is the finish line. They see it as the ultimate goal, the proof of success, the answer to all their problems. They imagine that once they have the money, the cars, the houses, the status, they will have finally made it. But this is where most people get it wrong. Because wealth is not the destination. It is the beginning of a much greater assignment. This is the final and most important sign that you are chosen. You are called to use your wealth for a greater purpose. The wealth that is coming to you is not just for comfort. It is not just for luxury. It is for impact. You were never meant to accumulate riches just to sit on them. You were never meant to hoard what was given to you. The chosen ones are not just blessed. They are called to be a blessing. And this is why your financial breakthrough is different. For many people, money is the goal. But for you, money is the tool. A tool to build. A tool to transform. A tool to lift others out of the same struggles you once endured. This is why your wealth will not just come, it will flow. It will expand. It will multiply. Because the more you give, the more will be poured back into you. This is the divine law of abundance. Proverbs 11 verse 25 confirms this. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. Those who hold tightly to their wealth out of fear lose it. But those who release it, who pour into others, who use what they have been given to create change, those are the ones who will never run dry. This is why God is blessing you. Not just to elevate you, but to use you as a vessel. And this is where many fail the test. Some people reach success and forget where they came from. They focus only on themselves, only on their desires, only on their own comfort. They let wealth become their identity instead of their responsibility. And as quickly as it came, it begins to slip away. But you understand that wealth is an assignment. You know that the abundance coming to you is not just about you. It is about the people you are meant to help, the businesses you are meant to build, the families you are meant to uplift, the opportunities you are meant to create. You have seen what lack looks like. You have experienced struggle firsthand. And now you have been positioned to make sure that others do not have to go through what you went through. This is why your wealth will be unstoppable. Because you will not make the mistake of keeping it stagnant. You will not let it sit in a vault, untouched and unused. You will not let greed take root in your spirit. You will circulate it. You will sow into others. You will invest in things that matter. You will ensure that your success is not just personal, it is generational. Isaiah 58 verse 10 speaks to this calling. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. When you pour into others, your light will shine even brighter. Your name will be remembered not just for what you had, but for what you did with it. And this is why your wealth will continue to grow. Most people see giving as subtraction. They think that when they give, they lose something. But the chosen ones understand that giving is multiplication. That when you release what is in your hand, God places even more into it. That when you open doors for others, God opens even greater doors for you. This is why the wealthy stay wealthy, not because they keep everything for themselves, but because they have learned the law of circulation. They have learned that what they release always comes back, bigger and greater than before. And now the question is, are you ready to step into this reality? Because now the real test begins. This is not about whether you will receive wealth. That has already been confirmed. That has already been set in motion. The real test is what you will do with it. Will you hoard it out of fear? Or will you move in faith, knowing that your giving is what will ensure your overflow? This is the difference between those who receive temporary success and those who build lasting empires. Your time of lack is over. Your struggles were never meant to define you. They were meant to prepare you. The wealth that is coming to you is already assigned. But how you handle it will determine its longevity. This is why you must move with purpose. If you know that your financial breakthrough is bigger than just you, comment assignment. Because the wealth that is coming is not just for your enjoyment. It is for your mission, your legacy, and the impact you were born to make. And if you are ready to see how all of this is coming together, keep watching. Because what happens next will determine whether you fully step into the abundant future that has already been written for you. I know what it feels like to struggle, to wake up every morning with the weight of financial stress pressing on your chest, to look at your bank account and feel nothing but anxiety. I know what it's like to feel trapped, to watch others thrive while you're stuck in the same cycle of survival, wondering if you'll ever break free. The fear of lack is exhausting. It makes you question your worth, your purpose, and whether God has truly set anything aside for you. But I also know what happens when you step into divine alignment. When you stop chasing and start receiving. When you stop begging and start expecting. When you stop believing the world's version of success and start embracing what God has already declared over your life. It's like a switch flips, your mindset changes, and suddenly, things that once felt impossible start happening effortlessly. The right opportunities appear. Unexpected resources flow in. Provision finds you instead of you running after it. It wasn't instant for me. I had to unlearn everything I had been taught about money, struggle, and success. I had to let go of the idea that I had to earn my way into abundance. The truth is, the chosen ones don't work for favor. Favor chases them. The moment I stopped doubting and started trusting, I saw the evidence of divine provision everywhere. Checks I wasn't expecting arrived. Connections I didn't seek out found me. Doors that had been locked for years suddenly swung open. It was never about working harder. It was about aligning with the wealth that was already assigned to me. And now, it's your turn. You don't have to live in lack any longer. The struggles of your past do not define your future. Your breakthrough has already been written. The only thing left is for you to step into it. The moment you fully believe that your provision is secured, you will start seeing the evidence all around you. You are no longer in a season of waiting. You are in a season of receiving. And when you embrace that truth, nothing will ever be the same again. Your financial struggles are over. The weight that once held you down has been lifted. You no longer have to fight for scraps, stress over your next step, or wonder if you will ever experience the fullness of prosperity. Your wealth is already secured. The doors have been opened. The provision has been set in motion. And the only thing left for you to do is receive it. What once felt impossible is now inevitable. Not because of your effort, but because of God's divine promise. Comment next level if you are ready to step fully into divine abundance. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a prophetic word today. Your breakthrough is here. Don't miss it. Don't hesitate. Step into your next level now, because from this moment forward, your abundance is unstoppable.